Being out to Ottawa Hills High School, dude.
126, this just got upgraded to a person shot. Says caller graduated a year ago, going to the school now. Says he's now in the school in the gym. He advised, call taker said she heard gunshots.
There was a call at 7:50, an allegation of an active shooter and a person being shot. That is not the case. This was a hoax call.
Several law enforcement agencies were here and descended on this very quickly with very good communication, all with the goal of securing the building and stopping any threat if it presented itself.
It's really scary too, especially when, you have a child in school too. So I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's going through my daughter's head.
I want to reiterate, no one was hurt. No one was hurt.
Emotions high for parents this morning as police and leaders for Ottawa Hills schools responded to a call about a shooting at the junior-senior high building. Now, we have since learned from police, as you just heard, that call was a hoax. Our Jeff Smith is live in the village. He begins our team coverage this afternoon. Jeff.
Amanda, thanks. Boy, what a busy day out here outside of Ottawa Hills Junior-Senior High School. And for the 5th time in 5 months, we are dealing with a situation like this swatting situation, this hoax call that comes into these schools about a school shooting. 3 of these situations have happened in Lucas County, 1 down in Hancock County and 1 in Allen County, as we have reported over the last few months. But with each of these times, every time one of these calls comes in, you've got to treat it as if it was real. And Dr. Anna Fineski said that's exactly what they did this morning about 7:50 when they were welcoming students in for what was a normal day, Friday headed into the weekend. They got that call at about 10 minutes till 8, and they had to respond just like it was real, because at this point this morning at 7:50, they did think it was real. So they went into an active lockdown situation for not only the school behind me, the junior-senior high school, but also the elementary school, which is just a stone's throw away from us here in the village. And they went into a situation as well where they had students escorted to the football field in order that law enforcement and authorities, a heavy response, they could all sweep the schools. So let's talk to you about 3 main points here today, that being the response of what they did, also the location and how that played a role in what happened here today. When I got on scene, Private Sterling Ray from Toledo Fire and Rescue Department, he told me there was such an overabundance of authorities, and they all were very well coordinated here on the scene. But I asked him specifically, I said, do you think that has something to do with the location today and the fact that this is so central to not only the Metro Parks, which was here, Sylvania Township, which was here, Toledo Police, which was here, Ohio State Highway Patrol? Finally, there was frustration today from school authorities and the police chief with the Ottawa Hills Force, talking about finding out this was a hoax. Listen.
It's frustrating. We are working so hard here at school, coming out of the pandemic, to get our kids back in the classroom, to get them caught up on things that they were behind on. We want to focus on academics. We want to focus on teaching kids, helping kids, and having them enjoy their educational experience. When things like this happen, it throws everything for us.
The fear that somebody puts into the children is the most frustrating thing to me. Obviously, it's a waste of everybody's resources, and these law enforcement officers could be somewhere else right now doing other things, but all we can do is take a look at it afterwards, certainly use it any way we can to improve our operations, make sure we take care of the kids, make sure they know that this was false and that we're prepared for it.
It was about 9:15 when the schools decided that parents could come to the elementary school and start picking up their students. We've got team coverage for you out here today on this noon hour this Friday. We're going to have Michael Sandlin as well as Zeinab Cheaib kind of bring you to speed on the other things that happened out here today as they dealt with this hoax situation. We're going to start with our Michael Sandlin. Michael?
Yeah, Jeff, so I'm going to break down just exactly what was happening inside the building for students. As parents were coming to pick up their kids, I was able to catch up with brother and sister Ali and Zara Sadiq, their 10th and 11th graders who were inside the building this morning. They tell me that they were on their way to their classes when an announcement on the PA system told all students to get inside the nearest classroom and lock the doors. Ali said his teacher then turned off all the lights and told them to get into the corner of the room away from the windows. While rumors were swirling, they said they had no idea what was happening, and Zara said she was worried about her brother's safety the whole time. Soon after, they were told to evacuate, first to the stadium and then to the elementary gym. But they said it wasn't until they were outside the high school that they truly understood the seriousness of the situation.
I just had no idea what was going on. Like, it was so terrifying. Like, you never think this is going to happen to you or your school. You know, you see this stuff online, but you never think this is going to happen. And when it does, when they said we can go outside, like, seeing all the cops with, like, the big guns, you're like, oh my God, this is actually real.
The Sadiqs tell me once they finally saw their parents, they felt a very palpable sense of relief. And going into Tuesday, when they finally walk back into the school, they're nervous to walk through those doors again. Jeff, I'm going to toss it back over to you.
You know, Michael, that's a big reason they're going to have mental health counselors here on Tuesday. Once again, you know, there is the holiday on Monday, giving students and staff that extra day to kind of process, to work through what they went through today, albeit a hoax. One thing that we do want to point out to you here today is the fact that when the 911 call came in, when dispatchers were starting to talk about this hoax call, we are being told, WTOL 11 has learned that there were actual gunshots heard on this hoax call. That's one of the reasons they treated it like it was so real, because of the thoughts that maybe this situation was playing out inside of the school, the potential for that. As we said, they didn't know it was a hoax. They had to treat it as a real situation. And of course, the huge response started early. We're going to check in with our Zeinab Cheaib as we continue our team coverage out here today. She got a chance to get here on scene early and talk to some of the folks who were involved in the response. Zeinab?
Yeah, Jeff, you know, the scene out here looks a lot different than what it did earlier when I first arrived. I've been out here since 8:30, just a short time after the initial call about a shooting at Ottawa Hills High School. The streets of Ottawa Hills were filled with Ottawa Hills police, as well as Toledo police, Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers, Lucas County Sheriff deputies, University Toledo Police, Toledo Fire Department, Savina Township Police as well. I saw parents concerned about their children, neighbors lined up along nearby streets wondering what happened. The roads were blocked off around the campus so everyone could remain safe as the district was placed on lockdown. Now, I spoke with Private Sterling Ray with Toledo Fire and Rescue, and he tells me that law enforcement officers and fire crews have been training for situations just like this.
It's something that we've prepared for in regards to responses, how we're going to interface between law enforcement and fire EMS. And this is a testament, as we talked earlier, there several law enforcement agencies were here and descended on this very quickly with very good communication, all with the goal of securing the building and stopping any threat.
Now, class is dismissed for all students here at Ottawa Hills. Now, earlier I did see parents lined up at the stadium with IDs in hand, waiting to reunite with their children. Jeff, I'm going to send it over back to you.
Yeah, Zeinab, Michael Sandlin and I saw some of that same stuff playing out. The panic still on the faces, even at 9:15, 10 o'clock this morning, when some of the chatter was the fact that this was a hoax, but there was no certainty until we heard from the Ottawa Hills Police Chief and Dr. Adam Fineski, the superintendent for the Ottawa Hills Schools District. By the way, we do want to point you in the direction of the WTOL 11 News app. You can download that if you haven't already, and we are going to share with you today the 911 call that played out here earlier this morning that sent the village of Ottawa Hills and its school district into a panic. But once again, everybody is safe. This was a hoax. They are going to start deconstructing exactly what they have. In fact, they have already started. Another thing I needed to point out was when staff and students were starting to make their way back to the high school, staff and administrators, I should say, Dr. Adam Fineski told me they were already today going back into the school to try to talk about what went right and what they need to do to prepare for the future should there be another situation like this. For now, reporting live in the village of Ottawa Hills, I'm Jeff Smith for WTOL 11. We're going to check that weather forecast for you.